Suicide Squad issue 1, Rob Williams writing, Jim Lee are on the main story, and Jason Fabok on the backup story. Now, keep in mind, this is not a longer issue. This is the regular, 2022 page count. It's just that to keep Jim Lee on schedule, they're making the main story only be like 14, 15 pages, whilst the backup then takes up with a different artist.
Whatever you gotta do.
I will say though, I felt that short length. I couldn't believe seeing that bottom corner of that page that said, "Oh, and next time this," I'm like, wait, what? That's the whole thing?
It felt like half an issue, because probably it was half an issue.
Yeah, it legit feels like half an issue.
I think it was a little bit longer, but yeah.
It feels like half an issue, not so much in page count. I'm just meaning story beats. It doesn't feel like a full story. It feels like, or a full chapter of a story. It feels like it just cuts off, and we'll get the next half of it in the next issue.
Yeah.
Because all that happens in this issue is Amanda Waller goes to Belle Reve, collects the squad. Harley makes a joke about not wanting to be sent into space. Or is it? No, was it Croc? Who said that? Someone. Was it Croc? Cracked a joke about not wanting to be in space. Cut to them being in space. Okay, funny.
Yep.
That's fine. Harley Quinn makes a Pokemon reference. Fucking negative points.
I don't know why this is negative points. There's nothing wrong with that.
Harley is too crazy to be amused by such a inane.
But this is the problem. No, this is the problem with Harley is she doesn't have a set tone. There's the Connor and Palmiotti version, and now there's this
no. Version. The Connor and Palmiotti version would be playing Pokemon Go.
Right, but maybe not the Suicide Squad version. Right?
I mean, we haven't seen enough of this Suicide Squad version to say that they're that different. From what I read, this feels like the Connor and Palmiotti version.
Just can't see her taking time from the Connor and Palmiotti stuff with that Rebirth issue, all the millions of things that was going on.
Here's the
for her to have a bomb in her neck.
Yeah. That's a good. Here's a question: when exactly does this Suicide Squad thing take place? Because in the Harley Quinn book, going from issue 1, she owns like a club and she's got her own like supporting cast and she's doing all this stuff and she's not really been that much of a villain. Yet in Suicide Squad, she's in Belle Reve and she's got a bomb in her neck.
Well, again, it's this the other Rebirth books we're talking about. We're not sure where everything's set. I'm guessing this is a fair bit later. I guess. I don't know.
Sure.
This is why I can't care about this stuff.
Most of the time, this doesn't bother me because when it's Batman or Superman, you just assume that the arcs sort of fit around each other. But these two are so like conflicting.
Yeah.
Like because one of them kind of like says the other one can't really be happening.
All right. Here's my guess as to what has happened here. This is set after maybe 3 arcs of the new Harley stuff. At the end of one of them, she goes to prison for something, and then. Then the Suicide Squad stuff takes place, and she gets out at the end of the Suicide Squad in a couple of arcs, and then in the next Harley Quinn issue, it'll just say, "This, if you want to find out how she's back, read Suicide Squad." That's probably what'll happen.
But then will she leave Suicide Squad when it gets to that point?
I don't know. We'll see when that happens.
Anyway, I didn't dislike this. I thought this was better than the Rebirth issue. I thought some of the character interplays were fine and fun. But I really don't have much of an opinion because the story doesn't even really get started. It's just like...
It is literally the intro, isn't it?
It's like, they're going to a location, they're falling out of this thing in space because that's how they're getting there, and then that's it, that's the end.
At the same time, as an issue 1, it kind of does set up the teams together and they're getting dropped off into the mission. That's the start.
But
that was also the start of the New 52 one, is you got introduced to all the characters and then they got dropped in. So that's nothing new. It's not that interesting because it feels like, oh, well, the movie's out, so let's put the movie team in a comic book. You know? Yeah. Because the Enchantress is there, and Flag's there, and I can't care. This is a group that I
don't even have a distaste for this. Like, I don't dislike it. Like, I'll probably read issue 2 to just see what the other half of this opening issue is, because it really is only half an issue. Yeah. I didn't dislike reading it. I thought it was written decently enough. Jim Lee, of course, does his thing. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And his style fits this more than I'd say Justice League when he was doing that.
Yeah.
So
It's the same for me. I'm definitely going to read on because there's not enough for me to judge it on yet.
Yeah, I'll read issue 2. I will say the backup, which, and I'm assuming each one over the next few issues will all just focus on a different member. This one focuses on Deadshot and sort of shows his not origin, but kind of the origin of him not being a complete villain when he decides to get Batman to help save his daughter, and still kills the bad guy even though he knows it means Batman will put him away. Like, he does that knowing, and he accepts that Batman's going to put him away for it.
I think I like this backup more than I did the main issue.
So did I.
At least it's a complete story.
Exactly.
that is true. That helps.
I don't like the way they're doing this. Like, just let Jim Lee be a co-publisher. Stop making him draw stuff, because it's just going to be put behind.
Oh, you know what? Just make it a monthly book.
Or make it a monthly book. Like, I think after the movie kind of tanked, I think the market will right itself. I don't think there's going to be that big of a desire for Suicide Squad.
I think what will happen is we'll get this arc where Jim Lee's doing this for the first, 4-6 issues maybe?
And then he'll leave.
And I think, yeah, he'll probably leave after that, and then we'll swap to just regular issues with another artist, and that's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even... Like we say.
I also don't feel any of these members are just are expendable. Like, I don't feel there's anyone that's gonna go boom or anyone that's gonna get taken out.
They're not really going to do that anymore, Matt, just because they want to have the big names in the team.
I know, and what's the point of calling it Suicide Squad then?
You do need some cannon fodder.
Because it's a cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know. I can see Flag going, to be honest, and maybe
Enchantress could go.
Maybe Boomerang.
I can see Enchantress becoming a villain at some point, much like the movie, and then dying at the end of that arc.
Yeah. There's cool stuff out there like Secret Six that if you haven't read that, you could be reading instead of trying to read.
I will
this
give it one
Suicide
positive.
Squad.
He says one of them says we need a team of 6, right? And they pick these lot. So even if no one dies in this arc, in the next one they'll go, oh, we need a bigger team, and that's when we get some more expendable stuff brought in.
Yes, I'm not going to stick around to find out, but
Yeah, I will probably read issue 2 just to see how it develops, but I'm not particularly stoked on it.
I think it might read nicely in trade when you can actually read it.
Maybe I'll find out then.